G'day everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be giving you 10 more region guessing tips, GeoGuessr tips for Canada, as Canada's a huge country and I released a video a few months ago and it's done pretty well, so I say why not do another one, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first tip I have here is about the speed sign. You know how Canada uses maximum instead of speed limit like they do in the US? But when you have a sign that says maximum, the amount of kilometers and kilometers per hour at the bottom, that doesn't have a black strip, it just says on the sign, then you have to be in British Columbia, BC, as it's the only province in Canada to do this type of sign. Because I said black strip because Ontario would have a black strip here instead of just having it on the sign. So they just write maximum 30 with black strip, but if you have this one, maximum 30, and on the sign at the below it says kilometers per hour, you can only be in British Columbia. So yeah, very helpful tip, and a very sneaky one, only learned very recently. Yeah, and another tip for British Columbia here, brings to number 2, is that if you see green sign backs in Canada, or just on any really sign backs, you have to be in British Columbia. There's no other province that does this. Doesn't mean all sign backs are green, as you can see here, but some of them are. So like maybe 50% of them are. But yeah, if you see that, always go British Columbia and you get a very good score if you can get a region as well. So yeah, nice tip as well. Alright, next here is a very helpful one. It's probably well known, but I said why not mention it anyway, because I didn't mention it in my other video. So here, rather than explaining it, I'm actually going to just show it to you. So here, as we look at this pole top, we got 2 bulbs on the left and 1 on the right. Okay, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. We move to the next one. We have, as you can see, 2 on the right and 1 on the left. Okay, we move to the that's that one there. So 2 on the right, 1 on the left. We move to the left one, to the next one, sorry, and we have 2 on the left and 1 on the right, as you can see. And we move to the next one, 2 on the right, 1 on the left. So as you can see, we've got a pattern here. They're alternating. That's the point of this tip. So if you see these alternating things, so 1 off center every single time, alternating left to right, as you can see, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, 2 on the right, 1 on the left. If you see this alternating pattern on poles, you have to be in Saskatchewan. It's the only province that does this. I'm pretty sure like 99% of the time you have to be here. 2 on the left, 1 on the right, as you can see, and 2 on the right, 1 on the left. It's just going to alternate throughout the whole road. And yeah, very helpful tip in rural Canada, because rural Canada is very difficult. And if you have just these poles that do this sort of thing, good bet to go Saskatchewan. Alright, next tip here is probably a more well-known one, but obviously I'll mention it too as well. And it's about the license plates. Probably the first license plates you should learn in Canada is probably the Manitoban ones. The Manitoban license plates look like this. They have front plates, but they have like these 2 green strips on them, 2 green blobs on them. And if you see 2 green blobs on Canadian license plates, you got to be in Manitoba with front plates as well. Bear in mind that Saskatchewan has greenish plates, but they only have back plates. They don't have front plates. But yeah, if you see on their back plate, it's greenish. It's not like green blobs. Yeah, you can get confused with Saskatchewan. But if you see these 2 green blobs, always go Manitoba. It's a very well-known tip, but yeah, as you can see here as well, it's a very well-known tip. And if you're in a built-up city like this, you're probably just going to be in Winnipeg, the big city there. So yeah, again, another very helpful tip that can give you an idea where you are in Canada and potentially the city as well. So yeah, good to keep in mind as well. Alright, next tip we have here is about probably one not too many people know about, and it is about bollards. As I mentioned in my last video, I did on the Canada tips a while ago. I did the Alberta bollards, who are black and white, like zebra striped. Well, here are the Manitoban ones. You can get a few types. This is one of them. There's like orange, black, and orange with white as well. So pretty much the rule is if you see a bollard in Canada that has a bit of orange on it, just any bits of orange, then you'll always be in Manitoba. It's the only province to have orange on their bollards. That's really the rule. You have to remember this type because there are a few types. I think some of them have a bit of grey on them as well. But yeah, it's a very good clue that you're probably in Manitoba if you have orange, some orange somewhat on the bollards. So yeah, very helpful tip and commonly found on like these intersections, as you can see here. But you can maybe find a bit in the highways as well. But yeah, mainly on intersections, and very useful tip. So yeah. Alright, next tip here I have was about Quebec bollards. I said in the other video that Quebec bollards are usually connected to bridges and guardrails, which they are, as you can see. Usually the bollards are connected to guardrails. But I said you can have the red reflector. Well, as you can see, you can also have the green one. So you can have either. You can have the red reflector, you can see, or the green one. This is like the green version of the Australian bollard, and the other one is just the normal version of the Australian bollard. But yeah. But usually if you're in Canada, if you see any sort of bollard connected to a guardrail, it's a good bet you're probably in Quebec. But yeah, just good to keep in mind. They're not just red reflectors. You can get the green ones. And as we can see, if we just look around here, this one's just red already. These ones are red. But yeah, as you can see over there, we did have a green one, so good to keep in mind as well. Alright, next tip I've got for here, it loads in, yeah, is about Quebec pole tops, which is another very sneaky one that I learned not too long ago as well. And so if you see a pole top with this sort of like, not straight, but it's kind of bent, like it's like a little bit of like a U shape crossbar, like it's sort of like this shape, not like it's not straight like that, but sort of like that, just a little bit of a U shape to it. If you see this type of crossbar on the pole top of an electricity pole, you have to be in Quebec. I'm pretty sure it's only found in Canada, only found in Quebec. So you have, like, maybe I have no language, and you see this pole top, always go Quebec, and you pretty much be right every single time. As you can see, we can have it here as well, and you can sort of see it there as well. So yeah, very good tip to know if you're just in even rural parts of Quebec. It can really help you out. So yeah, good one as well. Alright. Next tip is these road lines. So as you know, Canada's more likely to use a single yellow line in the middle, and US usually uses double. But if you're in Canada, because you have some Canada specific clues, maybe like the license plates or just the landscape and that, but you have double yellows, you're most likely going to be in Nova Scotia, which is an eastern island state near Quebec. Yeah, you probably should know it, but you might know it. Yeah, but keep this in mind, this is not 100%, it's most of the time. Most of the time, if you have double yellows in Canada, you should be, Nova Scotia. But there are some other provinces that do this, and sometimes Nova Scotia won't use these road lines, but yeah, most of the time it should be there, so yeah. Next one here is actually another very niche one. And so if you see this little white horizontal sticker on a pole, utility pole, or this white vertical sticker, if you see that, you will pretty much always be in Prince Edward Island. Yeah, so yeah, white horizontal sticker, just to remember a rule, you always be in Prince Edward Island. And also I said in the last video, very red soil, so if you have this white sticker plus the very red soil, and you're Canadian, but you got that Canada type of warning sign, then yeah, it's guaranteed to be Prince Edward Island. But yeah, this is a very helpful tip, maybe if you don't see the red soil. So yeah. And my last tip I have for you guys here is about these warning signs. So as you just saw in the other thing, we had like this type of warning sign with only this part visible. But as you can see in the Newfoundland and Labrador ones, they also have the yellow and black chevron, and also within a yellow rectangle. So if you see this type of warning sign, it's very easy to recognize. You have to be in Newfoundland mostly, and there's only like one road of coverage in Labrador, so you rarely be in Labrador, most of the time in Newfoundland. But yeah, so this was in Newfoundland here, just down there. But yeah, as we drag out, that's Newfoundland there, and if you drag out Labrador, so you've got like one road of coverage at the border. And if you're at an intersection in Labrador, you're probably just going to be on this one here, I'm pretty sure of it. Let's click in there. And yeah, see in Labrador you have the exact same one. A bit closer to it. Yeah. In Labrador you have the exact same one, but yeah, most of the time Newfie occasionally can be Labrador as well. So yeah guys, that concludes the video. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please leave a like if you do enjoy these videos. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more. Subscribe for more videos like this. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.